Have you ever made really good, tasty, decent, good, or just the best chicken you've ever had, but the flavor didn't really go all the way till the bone? You just had it on the skin, but it really didn't go all the way to the bone. I'm talking the chicken breast, juicy and flavorful and well seasoned. Well, this is a problem solver, and it's called brining. Cooking with K. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That will mean a lot to me and the team. Thank you very much, and let's get to it. We'll be starting off with 2.5 liters of water. You could use any kind of deep pot or a container that is deep enough where you could put your chicken and you don't have an overflow. As you can see, I'm using a deep pot, and this will make sure that the chicken, while it's inserted into the liquid, it doesn't overflow. So this is really important, guys. Use the deepest pot you have at your disposal. We will be bringing the water to a boil and immediately taking it off the heat, and then after this we will be putting it on the side and adding all our ingredients in. The heat is very necessary when it comes to extracting the flavors from the lemon and the herbs and the spices, and also it helps in dissolving the salt and the sugar. Really important process, guys. Do not mess this up, or else nothing. Just a quick note, slice your lemon before you put it in and give it a good squeeze, and just add all the other ingredients. When the water is cooled down, we'll add in 3 cloves of garlic. This is important because you do not want to over extract the flavors of garlic. You want it to be complementary and not overpower other flavors. At this point, you could just leave it aside to cool down to room temperature, or you could add some ice cubes to fasten the process. Something quick to note and something to be keen on: do not put the chicken while the water or the brine is hot. Put it after it's cooled down. This is room temperature or warm, it's not a problem. And also just make sure you put the breast and the thighs facing downwards. You just want them to be covered as much as possible. And if your chicken at some point is not really sinking, you could always put a plate on top of it just to make sure it's submerged completely. We will now cover this properly, make sure it's well covered, and we'll be placing it at the bottom of our refrigerators away from other foods, just to prevent cross-contamination. We will be brining this for a minimum of 12 hours and a maximum of 24 hours. The closer you are to the 24-hour mark, the better the flavor and the juiciness of the chicken. After the brining, it is important to dry up the skin of the chicken. Make sure you dry it up really good. Now I'm just tossing it with a thread. If you don't have a tossing thread, do not worry. If you like your bondage, this is the best time to practice. So I always have a few tricks up my sleeves. I like putting a bit of butter under the skin. I like adding paprika at the end, but this is very optional. But what is important is salt and pepper, and drizzle some oil, most preferably vegetable oil or canola oil. That's up to you. Then massage
the living hell out of this chicken with the oil. You want every little bit of the chicken covered in oil so you have a nice crispy chicken at the end of the day. After this, we will be cooking this at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 215 degrees Celsius for 1 hour to 1 hour 25 minutes. Keep on checking it. Get that nice golden crispy skin and look at that juicy chicken. You're welcome.
So this is basically osmosis. What's happening here, I don't want to geek out too much, but we'll be basically transferring water into the chicken through osmosis. So what's happening, we have a salty solution and the water is literally trying to run away from the salty water and jump into the chicken. But with it, we have infused it with lemons and peppercorns and chili flakes and scallions. And while the water is going through the salty solution and trying to escape the salty solution and going to the chicken, what happens is it is carrying all the flavors we've infused it with into the chicken. So we're talking all the way to the bone. If you really want to chew on that bone and you want it to taste exactly as the flesh of the skin or the skin of the chicken, brining is the way to go. Marinades are also good, but brining just goes an extra mile. Cooking with K. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That will mean a lot to me and the team. Thank you very much.